and welcome to another inspiring episode of the Red Corner Show, where we spotlight change makers, leaders, and visionaries who are making a real difference in their communities and beyond. I'm Dr. Shamila Ramjawan, a global award-winning entrepreneur, founder of the Princess D Menstrual Cup, Olympus International Awards, and the Red Corner Show. Today, I would like to welcome Grace from Nigeria. She is a seasoned program manager, research fellow, and development professional with over a decade of experience working across NGOs, health, pharmaceuticals, and international development. Currently serving as a research fellow counselor at the Wheel Institute for Business and Development at the London Business School, and as operations and membership manager at AfroCity, has played a pivotal role in advancing child protection, gender equality, health, and sustainable development. With her expertise in project management, partnerships, and policy, she has contributed to programs funded by major agencies like USAID and PEPFAR. She is a passionate UN Sustainable Development Goals activist and thrives on creating collaborations that deliver lasting impact. Let us dive into her journey and insights and get to know who Grace is. Welcome to the show, Grace.
Thank you, Dr. Shamila. It's nice to be on your show. Thank you.
I'm so looking forward to our chat. Just to start, you've worked across NGOs, health, pharmaceuticals, and international development. What inspired your career path? Just give me a little background about who is Grace, your career path, and how did you navigate these different sectors?
All right, so thank you so much. Okay, my motivation started when I noticed that my father was diagnosed high blood pressure. So he was battling with his sickness, and afterwards, I began to have the passion for health and wellness. So when I see people who are actually sick, I'm actually concerned, what do you have to take? So that's one of the things that drove my passion into seeing that people health is their wealth. And then also working through different private and public sectors, navigating those areas. It wasn't really a hard stuff for me to navigate. Why? Because it kind of aligned with some of my foundations and my motivations. But apparently, working through those sectors had helped me to understand governance, policies, understand environment and structure. So that way, I've been able to manage and understand the environment, whether working in a private sector or in a public sector. So that has helped me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. That is such an interesting career path. It will be inspiring to hear how you managed to weave together such diverse experiences. Now, looking back on your journey so far, what key lessons have shaped the way you lead and manage programs today?
And so I think what has shaped my leadership skill is empathy. I understand that because I'd worked with quite a lot of teams across different strata and different people, different cadres of experiences. So leading with empathy is one of the things I think as a leader has helped me over the time. Also being a leader that's a lifelong learner. I see myself as somebody that likes to learn. So as a leader, being a lifelong ability for you to adapt and be able to learn from others is something that has helped me. And thirdly, I think leading with patience and consideration. So as a leader, patience and being considerate, you consider your team people in any of your decision has been a great factor. So thank you so much.
I'm sure many people listening can benefit from those leadership lessons that you've just shared, especially those who aspire to enter the development field. And I so agree with you. It's all about educational development. Never stop learning. As a program manager and research fellow, you work at the intersection of research, policy, and practice. How do you bridge that gap between academic insights and the real world impact?
So I think academic insight is like like a foundation to how an ideal world, you interpret an ideal world. So I think understanding the contextuality of an idea is important in academic insight. Because if you understand the contextual idea of a particular, construct of knowledge, it's going to help you be able to apply it to the real world. So I would say breaking the bridges between academic insight is applicability. And that talks about knowledge gap. So if you understand how to apply what in the academic construct looks like and apply it in the real world, then you're going to have an impact. So that's actually what I think bridging that gap is going to help. So applicability is key, knowing the how. That way you can be able to transform from the space of the theoretical to the real world, the practical part, the pragmatic part. Thank you so much.
And that balance between research and practice is not always easy.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
You've successfully managed programs funded by major agencies like USAID and PEPFAR. What would you say are the most critical factors for ensuring programs are successful and sustainable?
So for me, I've worked in the program management for over 8 years, and I think the first thing is to understand the organization goals and objectives. If you want to be a successful program manager or whatever it is you want to do, understand what the task is. Additionally, work within your scope. It is important you work within your scope. So this first thing is the first thing first. You can't just be wiggling things or you are working with no direction. Goals and objective is going to help you do that and you manage your scope. Secondly, I would say building a good team for performance. Without a good team, there is nothing. The greatest idea cannot thrive without a good team. Thirdly, I'm going to say having a good organization structures and processes. They are very important, whereby you have your policies, the procedures, and how things are run. I will also say that another thing that I think is very vital is tracking your outcome. And because if you decide to do a project and you don't track, definitely you can't say this is where you are to this is where you are going. So I think it's important to understand your goal as an objective, work within your scope, and have a good team building that could help performance, ensure that you have a good organization structures, and ensure that you measure your success by tracking your outcome. Thank you so much.
What a great answer. There's so many little nuggets that we can take away from what you just said, because there are so many organizations that are struggling with sustainability. And I hope the masses listen to what you've just shared now, understanding and working with your scope. That is so important.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. So your work spans child protection, gender equality, and health. Okay, that's more or less your passion. Which of these areas has been most personally meaningful for you and why?
So thank you so much. You see, the three areas are very dear to my heart, child protection, health, and gender equality. But for the sake of this program, I would say gender equality because I've come to understand, coming from an African perspective, I see that the major problem is cultural norm and the mindset. Because the role of cultural norm and mindset in African culture has really affected gender equality. And so I really think that gender equality is something that is really dear to my heart because it interfaces all through all sectors of life. You see it in family, you see it in workplace, you see it in the environment, you see it in social interactions where gender equality has really played its part. So it tends to tell you that it's like a cancer. It creeps in. And so dismantle it, I would say, is not really, I would say dismantle, you can't dismantle some of those things because they are foundational. I think what has to be done is intentionality in ensuring that we promote a culture that will shift the mindset And so you can't say, because cultural norm is foundational. You can't just say you are coming and you want to change everything. But I think gradually, when we put a process in place by which we are intentional, change the norm through strategic thinking, advocating for a lot of, cultural norms that are more sustainable, that are more engaging, that are more tolerant. That way, gradually, we can be able to get to a greater place where we can become, it's going to be a free for all and fair, equitable environment for both genders. Thank you so much.
I love your answer, Grace, and I can hear the passion in your voice. It's always powerful to hear what drives someone's passion.
And just a second. In 2021, I wrote an article on emotional violence in workplace. It was actually a real thing that I could deal with working as an employee. So probably I could share the link later on, and people can share my thought. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shamila.
Yes, please share the link with me so I can attach it to this YouTube video.
Okay.
So it's like I said, I love your passion and your drive. It actually gives me an indication or a glimpse into what motivates your impact. What has been one of the toughest challenges you faced in international development? And the next question is, how did you overcome that?
So my international development experience is evolving, but there's something I've come to realize. I think because I'd worked in those fields, I think one of the most important things, the international development, which comprises of multi-international organizations like the IRC, the RCS, name it, Bill Gates, and all of these people who are working in the international space, is how can they use the monitoring, evaluation, and accountability learning reports to drive policy change. Now you will see that today marks the end of the United Nations 80th Assembly, and you will see that throughout these debates, there were a lot of discussions. So I want to see how well some of these organizations like IRS, name it, would come in such gatherings and bring in their reports, or IRS bring the report of interventions on humanitarian, outcomes, and we deliberate. And we use this information to drive a change and take it forward to a platform so that next time we are having the United Nations Assembly, we can see these group of people saying, because that organization like Danish, IRS, maybe they're a lot. They work with the community. They go down the drain to work with the community. They can't say that, oh, we've gotten this report so far 5 years. We know what is happening. Oh, from this country, from that country, okay. We have that huge knowledge to present to the United Nations that these things can be implemented, or a policy that can endanger. So beyond programming, I want a situation whereby international organizations could bring this into reality. So that's that for me.
I love that. And you're speaking my language. Because for me, it's all about impact and implementation.
Yeah.
Yes. So my next question to you is, how does it feel to be a brand ambassador for Princess D Menstrual Cup?
All right. So I think it's a privilege. Why? Because I understood that the project is a very good project. Apparently, I'm also an advocate of menstrual hygiene management for adults, and I understood your deal of children, especially vulnerable children. Look at the income, the level of household income, and how well people can manage their health. So the Princess Cup is a very fantastic idea, and it's cost effective, and much more than that, is sustainable. So I think having this piece of products or materials for the youth is going to help reduce costs. It's going to also promote an hygiene culture more. So I think it's a very good thing because as we are moving towards sustainability, there are some materials over time that is not sustainable, eco-friendly. And so this is sustainable, eco-friendly. I think looking at the real world with the climate change and sustainability effort, I think we're in the right direction.
Absolutely. You know, we talk about climate change, we talk about plastic-free economy, saving our planet, but what's being done, you know? We still see lots of plastic, we still see lots of sanitary pads, we still see products that are not sustainable. So we need to protect our earth. So, and our planet. So, in your experience, Grace, what are some common barriers for advancing gender equality? Now, we talk about the menstrual cup, we talk about gender equality because we know millions of girls do not have proper sanitary products. So, in terms of advancing gender equality and inclusion, how can we begin to dismantle them?
So, for inequality, as I've said earlier on, it starts with the mindset. We need to change our mindset as a people, as a community, and it should start with us. And so for you to change the world, you need to start changing yourself. So change has to come within ourselves, within our family, within our group. So when we can enforce that change, then we can impact the whole community, in turn, impact the world.
Love it. Absolutely love it. It's such a crucial conversation, especially as the world continues to push for equity, right? And your insights are shedding so much of light on just the practical solutions and, again, implementation. So you're passionate about the UN Sustainable Goals, you know, the buzzwords, SDGs, what's going to happen, 2030. Which SDGs do you feel are most urgent for Africa right now? And where do you see the greatest opportunities for progress?
So I think for the girl right now is the health. Because we need to address your need according to the target audience. So we are talking about health, mental health, we're talking about hygiene. So for the youth and for the girls, is their health. And one of the ways you can stay healthy is to ensure that your menstrual hygiene management is healthy. Because it says a lot about your life. If you mess up with your mental health hygiene, you're going to pay for it. So for girls, the SDG goal is the health. Your health is your wealth. And one of the striking features of women that the cycle is our menstrual hygiene. It's our menstrual health. Our menstrual health is us. It is we. Without a menstrual health, there's no woman. And so if you can take care of your menstrual hygiene, I don't know, that means you're playing with your future. So I will advocate for every girl to ensure that their menstrual hygiene and their health is their life. So that's my take home for the SGD for the girls right now. Amidst all the things that is happening, but for the girls, I think the health is most important. And you can't say that without including your menstruation management hygiene.
Absolutely. I love that. Yes, the focus should be on the girl child. You know, this also gives, just talking to you gives us a sense of where the energy and resources should be focused, right? Because that would be the biggest impact, not just on the continent, but in the world.
Yeah.
So at AfroCity, you play a role in operations and membership management. Can you tell us about AfroCity's vision and the kind of impact it's creating, and what's your involvement in this?
Okay, so AfroCity is a social enterprise that's into our connect, and wellness of membership. So we take into our art, membership wellness. We're talking about your mental space, because your mental health, your wellness will also lead to your productivity. So it's a social enterprise that brings people together. You connect in all different levels to ensure you promote a good mental wellness. And so my role as the operational manager is to ensure a smooth running of the organization, increase the membership, and help provide technical support, to the team and to the organization at large. And so I overrun virtually, ensuring that every process goes right. Yeah, so that's it.
So busy. You are just so busy. I can see. And it centers around teamwork and collaboration, which is central to your work. What makes a partnership truly effective in driving sustainable development outcomes?
You see, partnership, the first thing is to identify your roles as a partner. And so when you're in partnership with me, you need to define your roles in the partnership table or in the partnership environment. Secondly, you need to identify your boundaries. Boundaries have to set. What are the things I can go beyond? What are the things I cannot? You need to understand to also have develop an accountability partnership, or develop an accountability structure whereby you can be able to be accountable for each other. So it's very much important that these things are very key as you enter into partnership. Whatsoever, let these rules be set. That way you can be able to harness your strength. You'll be able to harness your weaknesses while you manage your strength.
Yes, love it. And also do not work solo. You need to collaborate and work as a team because the pie is so big and everyone can have a share.
Yes, yes. Nobody should work in a silo. So that's another thing. You can't work in a silo. So we all need each other to support one another. So working in a silo, you cannot just, we actually try through partnership, because if you look at everything that goes around the world, everything is based on partnership. I need your strength. You need my strength. You bring your weakness. I join my strength. We bring it together. We become a formidable force. So partnership is the way out. Then you'll be able to annex different skills. You
Absolutely.
bring different skills. Yeah. So there's a knowledge shared. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yes. I love that when you bring the skills together, because you have that and you have more of this, and you merge everything and you have a winning formula.
Yes, it is.
Yes. No, definitely. And I love what you're sharing here, because this is the roadmap for building stronger relationships and partnerships.
Yeah, correct.
So
correct.
You pursued advanced degrees while leading impactful initiatives. What advice do you have for young professionals, especially women, who want to make a difference in development work?
So I would say an advice is to stay focused. I say to myself a very hard lesson: if you don't make it work, nobody will make it work. Or if you're thinking you are expecting somebody to energize you, to motivate you, there ain't gonna be any motivation. You are your motivation. If you don't stand up, nothing's gonna move.
Yes.
Everybody's looking out for themselves. So know that you are the driver of your life. So if you don't move, everything stays still. So the advice is ladies need to snap out of you're trying to be too dependent. You are looking for a soft landing. You are expecting when everything is right, everything is not going to be right. There's no right time. So know that I am the driver of my life. And if I don't move, nothing's going to move. So I had to move. So stay focused and be a lifelong learner. Ability for you to be able to learn. Every day things are evolving, things are changing. If you don't learn, you'll be outdated. You won't be relevant. And we are talking about how can we take our space. So to take our space, you have to learn. You have to learn and learn and learn and learn and keep on learning. So it's a lifelong effort.
I like what you said. If you don't learn, you will be outdated.
Yes, you will be outdated.
Yes. What encouraging advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. Grace, looking ahead, what legacy do you hope to leave through your work in research, policy, and community development?
So for me, I think my legacy in the area of international research is to be a force to reckon with in providing solutions to international development that's going to shape the world. So I want to be remembered that, a certain person, I may not be able to walk through Mahatma Gandhi, neither can I do Mother Teresa or Nelson Mandela, But I believe that I believe that when you do your bit, I do my bit, you do all your bits to ensure that the world becomes better, and that's a legacy. So for me, I want to have a first my research work such that it provides solutions, because if there's no solution, if you're not providing solution, then you can't be relevant. So solution that is going to birth, that is going to affect the world in my research work, and that is going to affect the space of the economics is what I want to be remembered for. So Dr. Shamila, watch my face. You will see me United Nations. I told you before, so watch out for me, because we need to solve the world problem. And I'm on the road. Then for the community. And so one of the things that is dear to my heart is to help the vulnerable households. And I think education and in the area of educational support and welfare is something I feel, especially in my community, and to see that every children, vulnerable households, have access to education and welfare. And so that's really an important thing for me, because when you educate a child, you make the world a better place. And so education is something that it cannot be overdue. And so it's a big space that needs to be filled. And I want to remember that my name is in the book. Thank you.
Do you want to say your name?
Oh, my name is Grace.
I want the real name, the full name.
Okay. My name is Oshifowokan Omoshalewa Grace from Nigeria, Western part. Thank you.
Wow, Grace, it's such a powerful closing reflection that you just shared. It will allow us not to just see what you're doing now, but the bigger vision that your future being in the United Nations Forum. And yes, I'm going to be there with you. So, yeah. Do you have anything else to share with the audience?
And so for me, I want to thank you for the opportunity. You reached out to me, and you feel that I'm worthy. I know that there are a lot of people who are much more worthy, but I think it's a privilege to be on this show. I want to really appreciate your effort over the years, and I want you to continue doing what you're doing, and so that together we move the world and solve the world's problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you for being on the show and being such an amazing guest. And I'm sure there's going to be lots more interviews on the Red Corner Show with you to see your development, which I'm really keen to see. Thank you once again. And to the audience, if you would like to be on the Red Corner Show, please drop me an email, redcornershow@gmail.com, and you too could be sharing your journey with us. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.